Happy New Music Friday, our favorite day of the week. Today I'm checking out Meek Mill. I'm not gonna lie, whenever Meek Mill drops new music, I'm always intrigued to listen to it. He gets me hype. I like a lot of his songs, and I think his music is overhated for basically no reason. But the song I am intrigued to hear the most about, and that's what we're reacting to today, is Cold Hearted 3. He came out with Cold Hearted and Cold Hearted 2 on previous albums, and those songs were really good. The lyrics were introspective. The production on those tracks were really good, and they were songs that stood out to me. So to get a trilogy of this song, right, I really love when songs have, continuous sequels or parts 2 and 3 to them. Like another one I could think of is like Solo Dolo part 1, 2, and 3. And the reason they have so many parts is because those songs are that good. So let's get into this. Cold Hearted 3 off Expensive Pain by Meek Mill. Skadoosh. You already know. Got the lyrics pulled up, as always.
I've been a gangster since like 5, since my daddy died. 50 mil on my account, had to strategize. And when I got it out the mud, I wasn't satisfied. And Lord knows that I was sinning, but I got gratified. Rap that shit like it's God. You sign up for this shit. If you switch, you gonna die. If you switch, you gonna die.
Meek Mill, sometimes he really can be a great storyteller. You catch a lot of glimpses of Meek being a great storyteller, and in that, he throws in a lot of inspiration and motivation. And I think when I think of Meek Mill, like, I'm listening to Meek Mill in the gym. I'm listening to Meek Mill, back in middle school and high school before, a football game or basketball game or baseball game or whatever. Like, to get myself hyped up, I'm listening to Meek Mill. And I think not only because of his delivery, but I think because he's been through so much shit that he's so motivating and inspiring on these introspective tracks that it really gets the adrenaline going. And, you can hear the pain in his lyrics, in his voice, and you can hear how motivated he still is to this day. And that's what motivates me about him. And I really like that in a lot of these lyrics so far on this track. He even says, like, even when he got out the mud, he still wasn't satisfied. Like, he's never satisfied, and he keeps pushing harder and harder to be the best that he personally can be.
I cut you off if you change the fame. You let this money come between us, I ain't barely see you. And when you come...
Yeah, I like the production on this track too. It definitely takes a back seat to the lyricism and Meek's delivery, but it gives it this perfect atmosphere. It's definitely an atmospheric beat. It's not in your face, anything like that. Like, there's no crazy 808s, typical drum patterns, anything like that. Like, it's nice, it's solemn, it's got some nice sounds in there. To bring it all together and to give it those layers it needs to, stick out on the production level, but still take a back seat to those inspirational and motivating messages that Meek is delivering to us.
Sliding back to back G-Wagons, moving like the Russians. I'm the only thing that's popping, the coast they gonna discuss them. I just know I'm gonna win, and if I pray on my ops, Lord know I'm a sin.
The vocal chops are what make that so atmospheric. I love those vocal chops a lot. Usually I'm not like the biggest fan of vocal chops in a lot of songs. Some really work well, and you need those vocal chops, especially if it's a more soulful track, but it works here really well. Once again, love the line, I don't know where I'm going, I just know I'm a win, and if I pray on my ops, Lord know I'm a sin. I mean, honestly, not really the most complicated bars. And once again, motivating, like, a lot of people are lost, and that's what Meek is saying here. Obviously, he's lost. You don't know what he's going through in his mental, but either way, he's so inspired, he knows he's gonna win.
Paul told me about this type of shit on Volume 2. Yeah, it was a hard knock life, but we was mobbing through.
Man, he's got also some good entendres in there. Hard Knock Life, Hove told me about this on Volume 2. We was mobbing through. Like, Meek has been through a lot of stuff, and obviously he expresses that in his music. Like, he doesn't, it sounds like he doesn't fake it, and he's really raw and real with everything he writes. And also, I notice, this doesn't have a chorus, this doesn't have a hook. This is just raw, real bars, hip hop right here. So I like that with this type of song.
And I won't go to sleep that every one of them dead. It's crazy, this is the type of shit that go to my head. But every time that I pop out, a bunch of killers there.
It's like he's saying, he's made it. He's famous. He's a celebrity. He's hanging out with billionaires. But every time maybe he goes back to his home, he says there's a bunch of killers there. Like, obviously there's this duality of Meek Mill where, one side is fancy. He's hanging out with people with money, everything you could ask for. And then there's the other side, which is where he came from. Obviously, it says there's a bunch of killers there. So I think this Cold Hearted 3 really is this like dueling consciousness of Meek Mill, of where he came from and where he is now.
Jealousy, envy, self-hate.
Yeah, I mean, I think these Cold Hearted tracks are really solid cuts from Meek Mill. I think they're very underrated and underappreciated. I think Meek is a better storyteller than people take him for. So I think this is a solid cut from Meek. I'm going to have to listen to the rest of this Expensive Pain album. Heard some singles. Those were pretty solid, but this is definitely my favorite thing that I've heard off this record. What do you think of Cold Hearted 3 by Meek Mill, and what do you think of the Expensive Pain album as a whole? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for coming by. If you liked the video, please hit a like and subscribe to the channel if you love talking music just as much as I do. You can follow me on Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter at EJSpark1. And as always, you know what it is. It's peace, love. I love s'mores. EJ, out.